welcome to Chamber Talk. I have another great show for you today. I want to welcome my good friend Jessica White with the Small Business Development Center out of Macon, Georgia. Jessica, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Heath. I'm great. How are you?
Great. Hey, thank you for taking time to talk with us today and to update us on some of the events and things happening at the SBDC. I know you guys have been quite busy, so we'll jump right into this. If we would first, Jessica, tell me just a little bit about your role and what you do at the SBDC.
Okay, awesome. So excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm a business consultant with the University of Georgia Small Business Development Center. We actually operate out of the Macon office. So I am one of 3 business consultants there. We have 17 offices actually though throughout the state with 50 consultants that we can rely on, a full network with various different backgrounds, advanced degrees, and all of us are actually here to provide no-cost consulting for small businesses throughout the state.
Okay, and that's very important, Jessica. You mentioned some of the services and what you guys do, but I want to make sure people are aware. Let's talk about for just a second, suppose there's a small business that's already in existence or a person who's thinking of starting a small business, but they're here in Lawrence County. What do they need to do?
Okay, great question. So if you're thinking about starting a small business there in Lawrence County in Dublin, the best thing that you can do is prepare. And that obviously entails many different aspects of starting a business, whether it be from a financial standpoint, making sure you have enough working capital, and making sure that you have your marketing strategies and plans in place. If you're planning on hiring out of the gates, making sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's along those lines. There's a lot of various rules and regulations that go around hiring and making sure that you have the best practices from human resources in place. Making sure that you have a strategic plan in place, very short-term and long-term. And so what the SBDC can do is work with you in various capacities there to assure that you have your business plan in place, make sure that your sales forecast and your financial projections align with all of the strategic goals from an operations standpoint, from a human resources standpoint, as well as from marketing, and making sure that you have that structure in place to set you up for the best odds for success.
So pretty much anything that someone needs to help them or to assist them with startup, but also for people who are in business. And I know right now, probably as much as ever, boy, I bet you guys have been really busy working with existing businesses and trying to help them through some of the different legislation that's been passed, and just working capital and things such as that. How do you guys assist existing businesses, and especially how have you guys been assisting during the current COVID-19 epidemic?
Yes, so we've been around for over 40 years, and most people don't realize that. So obviously, though, we haven't been sitting around for 40 years helping existing business with COVID crisis. This is a whole new landscape and platform, I think, for all of us. But the best thing that we can do now, just to give you a little backdrop on who we are, we do receive funding. The reason we're able to provide no-cost consulting for small businesses is due to funding that we receive from Small Business Administration, the SBA, as well as state match funds. But we are not actually a direct entity of the Small Business Administration, but we are an affiliated partner. And with the use of those funds, we are actually able to be here directly and work directly with businesses in cities like Dublin and all throughout Middle Georgia to assist them. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of tools. There's been a lot of updates and a lot of changes throughout the time. Lots of assistance programs that have been developed. And the most important thing that we've been able to do with clients during the COVID crisis is we're here for them. We're hands-on. While we're typically working with companies face-to-face, and that's much what we prefer. Either businesses are coming to our office or we're going directly to their offices. We're working virtually now to make sure that they have a hands-on direct contact that they can work with that can help them to understand the various programs, the differences, how to determine what they qualify qualify for, what they may not qualify for. Not only that, from a, from a loan standpoint, obviously that's been the big talking point now, but just getting through the interim time in terms of, working through the slump, whether it's in sales or whether they're having to face, the potential to maybe have to lay off an employee, working through those issues with them. But not only that, we're working proactively right now to make sure that our businesses are prepared for the next chapter, which is going right back into running operations, obviously through a different climate. But our goal is to make sure that we're with them throughout every step along the way.
I think that's fantastic, Jessica. And again, fortunately, I've worked with you. I've worked with Trudy and Pete and several other folks at the office in Macon. And you guys do a fabulous job over there. You mentioned funding and the way that you guys are funding. And I think that's important. So we're going to take a really quick commercial break. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the team and who you guys have over there. The diversity, I guess, would be the word to say, as far as being able to help different businesses and different clients. So we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Darren Keene with Clements & Keene Insurance. If you own a business with less than 50 employees, we have things that are available to help you qualify for group health insurance with many discounts. These discounts did not exist 6 months ago. This is available through the Georgia Chamber Smart Plan. It's backed by Blue Cross Blue Shield. If you're a member of your local Chamber of Commerce or if you're contemplating becoming a member, give us a call. Clements & Keene Insurance, your health insurance specialist, 272-8019.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dustin Gay. I'm a local orthopedic surgeon with Houston Clinic Orthopedics, and we'd really like to invite everybody to come out to our new office facility to take a look at it. It's a larger space with physical therapy, and we're just excited to have it, and we'd love for people to come out and visit us.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Welcome back to the show. Again, Jessica, thank you for joining me today. And again, thank you guys for all your help. You guys have been awesome. I know you and I talked about appointments and virtual meetings and things that you guys do, but I also want to make sure our viewers know you guys actually have a place at the Dublin Orange Chamber of Commerce when things return to whatever normal would be or whatever it might look like in the future. So that our viewers know if they have questions, if they need to set up a meeting, you guys will actually come to the Dublin Orange Chamber of Commerce and meet with them one-on-one.
That is correct. And we have, as I mentioned, we have 3 consultants in the Macon office. While all 3 of us cover Houston County and Bibb, we have a team concept going there. I myself happen to be the designated business consultant for the Dublin area. So for the most part, an initial consultation, if we were to meet up there at the chamber, for example, or directly at their business, would initiate with me. And I would start that with a discovery or a needs assessment, if you would, to really get to know the business, understand the operations, understand their goals and their objectives. And then the great thing about it, I particularly have a strong background in sales and in marketing and technology. I was in software sales, but at the same time, we have 2 other consultants that I can pull from. And as I mentioned, 50 other consultants throughout the state. So you're never limited to the consultant that you're working with, because we have backgrounds, whether it be finance, whether it be mergers and acquisitions. So if you're in the process of trying to buy or sell a business, we can consult with you through that. Lisa Rackley, who is our area director in the Macon office, she is SHRM certified and very prepared and very well versed to be able to work with companies to help them in their next steps when it comes to human resources. We have actually multiple divisions too. We have an ag division, and we have a division for imports and exports. So if that is something that a company was interested in looking into or expanding that aspect of their business, we have various areas of specialties, and the well runs really deep there. And
I think something else I certainly want to make sure we mention, Jessica, you guys, because sometimes people think, well, if I'm not paying anything for these services, then they're probably not going to be the best people or the best person for me to talk to about my business or about helping me to be successful. Tell me a little bit about credentials in your team and the various backgrounds.
Okay, thank you. And that's a great question. So we have all of our consultants have to go through a pretty extensive process in order to get hired on with the SBDC. So one, we all have to have an advanced degree in some capacity, so master's degree level or higher. We are actually considered to be a faculty position. So if you know through any college environment, a faculty position takes on a specific role of teaching. And so that's when our training programs come into play. Not only do we play a part in actually putting these programs together, but we directly deliver them throughout our communities. With the various backgrounds, I mean, you have to have extensive experience, hands-on in your field of study. But not to mention, again, you know, a wide variety of different types of experiences. A lot of us, including myself, happen to be small business owners of our own.
And we've had meetings at the chamber where multiple representatives from the SBDC have come in. Sometimes it can be one person and it can be a one-on-one consultation. Sometimes you guys have sent 3 or 4 people to address a group of 100. With different business topics. So again, we appreciate that, and we're very blessed and fortunate to have you guys. Jessica, let's get back a little bit to the current hot topic, I guess, as much as anything. And tell me, what are you guys seeing? What are your phone calls that you're getting, your requests that you're getting? What are some of the more popular questions you're having to answer or things you're having to help your clients with right now?
So I was actually just recently, we have a Q&A section. If you go to our website, it's georgiasbdc.org. And we've been holding various seminars throughout the past weeks, in every office, every division has been holding these seminars to reach out to the community and to provide a direct resource where people can come and they can get information. Not only that, but they can ask direct questions through these forums, and then we can connect them directly through a consultant who can work with them one-on-one. So I was looking through some of these questions because we posted them on our website to show some of the most common questions that we're receiving. And I can tell you that the trend is all around working capital. How are we going to pay our operational expenses? How are we going to pay our employees? So at this point in time where sales have either come to a complete halt or slowed drastically, people are trying to determine how are they going to continue to function and operate, pay employees. So the most questions come around these loan programs, but obviously our goal and our ultimate role is to try to make sure that we can work with them beyond that, because certain areas, when you talk about working capital, going through the SBA, going through various banks, and especially considering the volume that we've been facing with these types of programs, sometimes all we can do is do our part in that area and then wait and hope for the best. But there's so many other things that we can be doing in between that time on our own that can prepare us for the next chapter in this new environment. And so we're making sure that we're taking them to the next level in that aspect of our consulting to make sure that we're helping them do what they can to prepare in the interim.
I think, yeah, that's very important and going through this. So acquiring loans or acquiring assistance or help or direction right now is very important, but even more important will be, what will this look like for your business in days down the road? I probably should have done this a little earlier, but I want to, if we can back up just a little bit, define for me and for our viewers what you guys consider when we say Small Business Development Center. Define small business.
Okay, so for the SBDC, we follow the SBA size standards in terms of how we define a small business. Now, that is most of the time, for most industries, that is looked at in terms of number of employees. And most people are actually surprised to learn that a small business can be 500 employees or less. Now, a majority of small businesses fall into a category as much smaller than that. But other industries, it can actually be based on the revenues, sales and cost of goods sold. So that could be determined, obviously it could be 7.5 million, 10 million, just depending on the industry. For the most part, it's based on 500 employees or less. For other industries, it can be based on your revenues.
I think, and thank you for sharing that. Would it be correct to say maybe in rural communities, I think our number usually for small business and chamber world is 50 or fewer employees, maybe? Does that sound about right?
Well, you would be the best to know in terms of how the chamber standardizes that. But for the most part, any chamber that we come across, there's not a business that exists as a chamber member or that attends a chamber event unless they're nonprofit that we can't work with directly.
Fantastic. Jessica, we're going to take one more commercial break and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter. Member FDIC.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform. Day in and day out. Season after season. You're going to need a Gravely. Built to mow the distance.
Now at Myers Equipment and Supplies in Dublin.
Welcome back to the show. Again, my guest today is Jessica White with the Small Business Development Center. Sometimes we refer to as SBDC, out of Macon, Georgia. But Jessica, it seems like you guys are not that far away. We see you here in Dublin and Lawrence County. You actually are our representative, and you do come to our chamber breakfast and our after hours and some of the different meetings and events we have. So we're claiming you as one of our own here. Jessica, you guys, again, I mentioned earlier some of the conferences, seminars that we've done here in Lawrence County at the chamber, even to help to assist our businesses with things from marketing or generating revenue. From time to time, I know you guys have some funding and grants that allow you to be able to do very low cost seminars for communities. Talk to me about some of those programs that you guys have done and maybe anything that you guys have on the horizon.
Okay, great. So typically, and you know, there's a lot of different programs out there, and there's a lot of different ways for businesses to get educated. And you know, virtual is a great option for the most part, but there's so many businesses, especially in this day and time, that are looking for that local, that hands-on feel when it comes to training and continuing education for their business. I'm one that's big in saying there's really no graduation date when it comes to business, especially if you run a small business. So you can always rely on the SBDC for continuing education. Our office alone has over 20 training courses that we deliver throughout the year, and it can be from various different backgrounds. So 2 of our primary CE courses, continuing education courses, comes in the form of a series. Our first one called Start Smart, and that's a series of 4 different classes that are given 4 weeks in a row. We have people who are either in the process of actually starting a business or are very new in the stage of starting their business, let's say under 2 years in business. And we're giving them the tools that they need to walk out of there with a written business plan in hand. We are providing them with the hand-holding, with the research, with the guidance and the tools that they need to effectively accomplish this. Now, for existing businesses later in the year, around October, we will be holding Grow Smart. So we hold that annually. It's a series of 5 courses for businesses who have been in business for over 2 years and have a certain level of revenue. So these are well established businesses who are looking at their business strategically and who are saying, I'm either ready to take it to a next level or go in a completely different direction. And so what they're doing is taking a time out of their business to work on their business. And the SBDC works with them to develop that in terms of a strategic plan. And they walk out of that program with a strategic plan in hand. And those classes actually occur at our facility, and you come in for, let's say, 5 straight Wednesdays in a row. And you attend the class. Again, we pull you out of your business environment. So you have an opportunity to sit down and concentrate and walk out of there with a strategic plan, ready to go conquer the business world as you know it. The other areas that we provide for continuing education throughout the year, we have created and rolled out a very strong rural initiative when it comes to continuing education. And that is through our Accelerate program. With our Accelerate program, we're taking the courses away from our center and eliminating the need for businesses to actually come to us. And we're bringing these out to our local communities. And so what we're doing is coming, for example, to the Dublin Chamber. We're bringing courses in areas like digital marketing, finance, customer service, retail environment. And if you can think about this, you come, you get to network, you get to be present at the chamber. You get to take an opportunity to really sharpen your saw, if you would, and learn the latest developments in any of these areas. But the greatest thing about any of our continuing education courses is not only are you getting that direct connection to all of that information and education that day, but you get ongoing assistance with that. Every business is different and there's no one size fits all. So once you attend one of our continuing education courses, you're more than welcome to work directly with a consultant who can take that information and tailor that to your specific needs to put a strategic plan in place that fits your needs.
I think that's fantastic, and it's great that you mentioned you don't just meet with folks and you meet with them one time and you say, here's some information, and there you go, you're off on your own and it's up to you now. And along those lines, to kind of wrap up the program today, if you have a few tidbits maybe that you could share with folks, I'm thinking right now would probably be a really good time for business owners, even new business owners, to reevaluate or reassess their business plan. What do you think about that? And if so, what are some things maybe that they would want to look at right now for future growth?
I think it's a great suggestion, Heath, and I'm on board. We are here. We are ready to help you do that. We are experts at that particular area. And the thing that I like to say about a business plan, it's not set it and forget it. And some people, surprisingly, have been in business for years and have never even written a business plan. Some people started their business and maybe they started out working with the SBDC and we gave them direct guidance to roll out a business plan out of the gates. A lot of people think that a business plan is just for the purpose of being delivered to a lender or an investor because you need funding. But that business plan is for you. You are the largest, you are number one in terms of the investor in your business. And that is just as much, if not more, a plan for you. And it should be ongoing. It should be updated regularly. As you can see, as of recent, times are ever changing. The landscape, the platform, the ways of going about competing and delivering your goods and services in our ever-changing environment needs constant updated, needs constant strategic planning, needs research in order to effectively compete, to manage your finances, and to manage your employees. And we want to work with you again on an ongoing basis to look at these business plans periodically or just revamp and start a brand new strategic plan. But we highly recommend it, and we welcome anybody and everybody who's ready to sharpen their saw during this time and go out and actually look at this as an opportunity to start fresh. We want to encourage you to do that, and we're here and we're really excited to be able to offer our services at no cost and to do that with you as a partner.
Jessica, again, thank you for your time today, and that's great advice, and I think you said that perfectly. You know, I tell folks sometimes it's real easy to get caught up working in your business, and then you forget to work on or work for your business. So that is something I like to do often at the chamber, and I hope our business owners do as well, is look back at your plan. And sometimes you have to revisit that plan and come up with a new plan, or make some tweaks to that plan. So again, thank you for joining us. I want to make sure folks know we do have your information, and as well as all the folks at SBDC at the chamber and on our website. And again, you mentioned, give me one more time the SBDC website.
Sure. It is www.georgia, and Georgia spelled out GEORGIA, SBDC, like Small Business Development Center.org. So GeorgiaSBDC.org.
Jessica, thank you again for joining us and helping us make today and every day a great day for business in Dublin, Lawrence County.